You are too easy to wound. Your peace is too fragile. Your focus is too easily broken. You have a fortress for a mind, and yet you leave the gates wide open for anyone and anything to wander in and set fire to your throne room. A critical comment from a stranger can ruin your day. An unexpected change in plans can shatter your resolve. The drama of the world, the endless, screaming chaos of the news and the feeds, has a direct, unfiltered line into the very core of your being. You are, in a word, touchable. Your inner world is a direct hostage to the outer world. And this is the single greatest barrier between the life you are living and the life you were born to command. But there is another way. There is a state of being, a mindset so powerful, so resilient, so serene, that the chaos of the world simply cannot find a purchase. It is the mindset of the untouchable. And it is not a gift you're born with. It is a fortress you must build. This is the mindset that makes you untouchable. First, you must understand the nature of the battle. The world will never stop trying to touch you. It will never stop throwing its storms, its criticisms, its unexpected tragedies at your gates. To hope for a peaceful world is a fantasy of a child. The goal is not to silence the world. The goal is to build an inner citadel of such profound peace that the noise of the world becomes irrelevant. This begins with the ultimate act of personal sovereignty, the realization that nothing external has any power over you except the power you grant it with your own mind. The event itself is neutral. The insult is just a collection of sound waves. The failure is just a data point. It is your interpretation, your judgment, your internal story about the event that is the poison. And you are the one who is choosing to drink it. The untouchable mind is a master of this internal alchemy. It has learned to separate the neutral event from the emotional story. It practices the art of the pause, that sacred space between stimulus and response. In that space, it chooses its reaction. It does not give the power away. It does not allow the chaos of the outside to become the chaos of the inside. Consider the ancient masters of this art, the Stoics. The philosopher Seneca lived in a world of unimaginable political turmoil under the thumb of the mad Emperor Nero. He was surrounded by betrayal, by death, by the constant threat of exile and execution. His external world was a raging fire, and yet his writings are a testament to a mind of diamond-like clarity and unshakable peace. How? Because he had built a fortress inside himself. He wrote, "A man who suffers before it is necessary suffers more than is necessary." He understood that most of what torments us is not reality, but the terrifying phantoms we create in our own imagination. He mastered the art of not being touched by the things he could not control. He focused only on his own thoughts, his own actions, his own character. The storm could rage, but the inner citadel was serene. This is the first discipline you must master, the discipline of emotional triage. You must become the ruthless gatekeeper of your own mind. When a thought of fear, of anger, of anxiety comes knocking, you do not immediately let it in. You stop it at the gate. You inspect it. You ask, is this thought a productive servant to my purpose, or is it a chaotic traitor to my peace? You choose what you allow to enter. You are the only one with the key. For too long, you've been handing that key to everyone else. This is not about suppression. It is not about pretending you do not feel. It is about choosing what is worthy of your feeling. An untouchable mind does not waste its precious emotional energy on the trivial. It saves its power for the essential. It is a strategic allocation of your most valuable resource, your emotional response. This requires a clear and definite purpose. You must know what you are fighting for. What is your one great war? The building of your business? The creation of your art? The raising of your family? This purpose is your North Star. And any thought, any emotion, any event that does not help you navigate towards that star is a distraction. It is a storm to be weathered, not a destination to be explored. The untouchable mind sees the storm, acknowledges its power, adjusts its sails, but never, ever loses sight of the star. It is not bothered by the storm, because the storm is not the mission. That mission, that purpose, is your shield. It is the solid ground upon which you build your citadel. Because when your why is strong enough, the how becomes insignificant. The petty dramas, the minor setbacks, the noise of the crowd, They all fade into an irrelevant whisper when measured against the roar of your own great ambition. And you must begin to train. You do not become a warrior by waiting for the war. You become a warrior by training for it. Every single day, in the disciplined quiet of your own mind, you must begin to act the part of the person you wish to become. You must, in a sense, perform the role of the untouchable until performance becomes your reality. This is the principle of acting as if, when faced with small annoyance, you will consciously, deliberately act as if it does not bother you. You will not allow your face to betray your frustration. You will not allow your voice to carry the tremor of your anger. You will act with a calm, serene, and almost regal indifference. With each small performance, you are carving a new neural pathway. You are teaching your own nervous system a new response. You are, in essence, rehearsing for the great battles to come. And this rehearsal is not just an act of composure. It is an act of preparation. The untouchable mind does not fear the future because it has already visited it. It practices the ancient, powerful art of negative visualization. This is not worrying. Worrying is the weak, chaotic, and undisciplined fear of what might happen. Negative visualization is a calm, strategic, and disciplined rehearsal for what might happen. For a few minutes each day, you will sit in silence, and you will calmly, rationally imagine the things you fear. Imagine the project failing. Imagine the criticism you will receive. Imagine the financial loss. You do this not to create anxiety, but to destroy it. You are giving your mind a vaccine. By introducing a small, controlled dose of the feared outcome, you are training your emotional immune system. You are desensitizing yourself to the shock, so that when the real storm comes, as it inevitably will, it will not be a terrifying stranger. It will be a familiar opponent. You have already met it 1,000 times in the training grounds of your own mind. You have already planned your response. You have already decided how you will act with virtue, with courage, and with grace. The event will have no power to touch you, because you have already touched it. This is the secret of the great generals, the master strategists. They do not just plan for victory. They plan for every possible contingency of defeat. And in doing so, they become immune to the paralysis of surprise. And as you master this internal preparation, you will unlock its power in your external interactions. You will master the weapon of silence. When you are provoked, when you are attacked, when someone tries to draw you into their emotional storm, you will do the one thing they do not expect. You will do nothing. You will remain still. You will listen. Your silence is not surrender. It is a shield, an unbreakable shield that reflects chaotic energy of the attacker back upon themselves. In your calm, they will see their own agitation. In your stillness, they will feel their own frantic energy. They will escalate. They will shout. They will perform, desperate for the reaction that you refuse to give them. And they will eventually exhaust themselves like a wave crashing against a stone cliff. The cliff is not bothered by the wave. It simply is. And in the end, it is the wave that breaks. The person who cannot be provoked cannot be controlled. The person who cannot be angered cannot be manipulated. In the world of human interaction, the person who has mastered their own emotional state is the one who holds all the power. You are no longer playing their game. You are inviting them to play yours. And in your game, the rules are calm, clarity, and control. And this is the final, liberating truth. You are not just building a defense. You are building a new identity. A person who is so anchored in their own purpose, so secure in their own value, and so disciplined in their own mind that the chaos of the world simply cannot find a handhold. The waves of other people's emotions, their anger, their anxiety, their panic, they wash over you and they recede, leaving you unmoved, unchanged. You become the rock in the middle of the raging river. You become the calm, quiet eye of the hurricane. This is the mindset of the true leader, the true creator, the true master of their own life. It is a presence, a quiet gravity. People will feel it. They will not know what it is, but they will be drawn to your calm. They will trust your judgment because it is not clouded by fear. They will respect your strength because it is not born from aggression, but from a profound and unshakable peace. The world will always be a storm. That is a given. You cannot stop the wind. You cannot calm the waves. The only variable you can ever control is the steadiness of your own ship. So the time for being a victim of the storm is over. The time for being tossed about by the waves of circumstance is over. The time for allowing your inner peace to be taken hostage by the external world is over. The training has been outlined. The philosophy has been revealed. The power is and has always been within you. The next insult is coming. The next setback is on its way. The next storm is gathering on the horizon. Who will you be when it arrives? Will you be the fragile ship broken by the first wave? Or will you be the lighthouse, standing tall, burning bright, and utterly, completely untouchable? The choice is yours. And it is made not in the future, but right now. This is the mindset. Now go and become it.